How do I play Havoc Demon Hunter in Mythic Plus content in Season 1 of Dragonflight? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Let's get into it. Alright guys, the Havoc Demon Hunter is the spec that I decided to main for this first season of Dragonflight, and for Mythic Plus content, you'd be hard pressed to pick a better spec. Havoc Demon Hunters at the time of recording this are looking like a top performer in the Mythic Plus scene, due mainly to their incredible AoE damage output. So where do we start? Let's take a look at the optimal Mythic Plus talent build going into Season 1. This of course being the Immolation build. For the Immolation build, we're going to start obviously by taking I-Beam, and then focusing on the right side of the Havoc tree. We're going to pick up Demon Blades for the passive Fury regen. Then after that, Fellfire Heart to add a couple seconds to our Immolation aura duration. Then we're going to grab the First Blood and Furious Throw talents for some more damage on Blade Dance and our glaives, and then of course Burning Hatred to amp our Fury regen while Immolation aura is active. From there we're going to dump 2 points into Dancing with Fate to further buff our Blade Dance, as well as 2 more points in Critical Chaos for Fury refunds. From there we're going to take 1 point in Initiative, as well as 1 more in Trail of Ruin for more Blade Dance damage, and 1 point in Chaotic Transformation to enable huge AoE burst damage. From here we're going to take 2 points in Unbound Chaos, which is a very fun talent that allows us to use Fel Rushes for big damage, adding a new dimension to our playstyle and positioning, as well as 1 point in Looks Can Kill, and 2 points in Growing Inferno for exponential Immolation aura damage. We are then going to throw 1 point into Tactical Retreat, 1 point in Momentum to further buff those big Fel Rushes, and a point in Burning Wound to buff our Immolation aura damage further. Then we're going to throw 2 points into Know Thy Enemy for the stats, 1 point in Accelerating Blade, and a point in Rage Fire, which is going to give us an awesome damage burst when our Immolation aura expires. From there we're going to take 1 point in Fodder to the Flame, which allows us to blow up demons we summon for big AoE damage with our glaives, 2 points in Soul Rend, and to finish off the tree we must have 1 point in Essence Break, and the remaining point in Any Means Necessary. As for the Demon Hunter class tree, this is more up to personal preference than anything else. However, I would recommend copying my build and focusing on the left side of the tree. Alright guys, now on to rotation. The Havoc rotation is more ability priority than a rotation, with your main generators for Fury being Fellblade, your passive Demon Blades, and passive Fury generated by Immolation aura and other abilities. You will find quite often on this spec you'll be pressing your spenders more than your generators, which makes for a fun and fast-paced playstyle. Immolation aura should always be used at the start of pulls due to its exponential stacking damage due to the Growing Inferno talent. Chaos Strike is your main single target spender and will occasionally be used in AoE if you have no AoE buttons available. I-Beam is going to be your big AoE damage ability. I-Beam also puts you into meta for 7 seconds after use, so for maximum AoE burst damage, you're going to want to I-Beam into an Essence Break into Annihilation, which is obviously your buffed Blade Dance. The reason for this is that Essence Break buffs your Blade Dance damage by 80% afterwards for a few seconds, so you should always use your Blade Dance right after Essence Break. Sigil of Flame should also be used on pull to get that initial damage and dot ticking. Throw Glaive should be used intermittently when you find time to buff your chaos damage and or kill summon demons. Fel Rush proc should be a high priority and a big source of AoE damage as long as you position yourself properly when using it. A tip to get the most out of this ability is to try to position yourself in a way where you hit a wall shortly after rushing through your targets, so you don't have any downtime getting back to the pack after using it. Metamorphosis is going to be your big cooldown, which is going to buff all your other abilities while in this form, greatly increasing your damage output and survivability with extra leech. Something else to look out for is making sure you are in range of all your targets when your Immolation aura expires, so that you can get a big Rage Fire burst and don't miss out on that damage. The Hunt is also a big damage cooldown for you, doing big initial burst damage and also applying a nasty dot to up to 5 targets in your path, and rooting the primary target for 1.5 seconds, while also granting you 25% leech from damage dealt to the primary target for the duration. Hey guys, real quick before we get into the next part, if you're enjoying this content, I would really appreciate it if you could take a few seconds and like and subscribe, because if you're enjoying this video, then you will also like something that I've made before, or maybe something that I'm going to make in the future. Anyways, back to the video. Alright guys, up next we got stat priority. What is it? So for the Mythic Plus build, your stat priority is going to be as follows. Obviously agility first, followed by critical strike, followed by mastery, and then versatility, and finally haste being your worst stat. As for enchants for Havoc, you're going to want Frozen Devotion on both of your weapons, Devotion of Critical Strike on your rings, Waking Stats enchant on your chest piece, Watcher's Loam for stamina on your boots, and Avoidance on your cloak and bracers, as well as a Fierce Armor kit for your legs. For your file, you're going to want to run the file of Glacial Fury in Mythic Plus, and your best food is going to be the 1000 Bone Tongue Slicer. In conclusion, if you're looking to play Havoc Demon Hunter for this first season of Dragonflight like me, you made a great choice. This spec is both a top performer in the logs, but also a blast to play with a fun and exciting playstyle. If you guys found this video helpful, please leave a like and some feedback in the comments, as well as subscribing for more videos just like this. Thank you, and until next time.